Citrus Bowl. Alabama versus Michigan. It's called the Citrus Bowl, but for this season, it might as well be called the Disappointment Bowl because both of these teams have had pretty disappointing seasons for varying reasons. Alabama was expected to be in the college football playoffs this year, but it didn't happen because they caught the injury bug, which was unfortunate, and they lost to Auburn, which was a really weird game. Just the whole way that Auburn game played out for Alabama was just really weird. And also the fact that a lot of people are saying that Nick Saban got out-coached by Gus Malzahn. Now, I'm not going to say that Nick Saban got out-coached by Gus Malzahn. I'm going to let you guys be the deciding factors of that. Then you got Michigan. Michigan came into this year with 5 goals. A lot of people were expecting Michigan to be competing for the Big Ten championship game and possibly be in the college football playoffs this season. Because of all the time they had at wide receiver. Yeah, Shea Patterson coming back for one more year. But that didn't happen. Michigan struggled early on in the season. Then they turned the corner versus this Penn State in the second half of that game. Then they blew out Notre Dame. Then a lot of people thought, some people thought they had a good chance of being Ohio State. And for the second year in a row, they got ran out the building by Ohio State. It just looked like Michigan didn't deserve to be on the same playing field as Ohio State that game. For the second year in a row. So, in this game, this is a very important bowl game for both of these teams, right? Not important when it comes to determining the future of these two programs, because I'm not going to say that. But I do think it's important to both of these teams to finish and win this game so they can end their season on a high note. Because I've been watching college football for 9 years. And on my 9 years watching college football, I've never seen Alabama finish outside of the top 15. And it would just be really weird. And not only just for myself as a college football fan and a college football lover, but for Alabama fans as well to finish the season outside the top 15. And for Michigan, I mean, Coach Harbaugh has to win this game so he can get to 10 wins. Because, listen, if Michigan goes 9-4, I think there's going to be a lot of heat and a lot of extra criticism on Coach Harbaugh for Michigan. So, Michigan fans already have had a big pet peeve with Coach Harbaugh because his inability to be able to beat Ohio State. Now you throw on top of that if they lose this game and they end up going 9-4, that's going to be some extra criticism. So this game isn't really important when it comes to determining the future of both these programs because I'm still expecting both of these programs to be pretty good next season. But it is important when it comes to these two fan bases. So if Alabama loses this game and they finish the season 10-3, and they're ranked outside the top 15. For Alabama fans, that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. And for Michigan fans, I mean, 9-4 is not going to look good for Coach Harbaugh in Michigan. So, when we look at both of these two teams, how they match up on the field-wise, Alabama, for the most part, should have all other players starting in this game besides the ones that went down to injury. So, Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs, their halfback, Najee Harris. I'm all expecting all those guys to play. Haven't really saw anything about any of those guys sitting out. Same thing for Michigan. Haven't really saw anything big about any big Michigan players sitting out. Now, that could change depending on when this video gets uploaded. Now, last time I checked, Alabama was favored to win this game by 7 points. So, Alabama was a touchdown favorite to win this game. The line probably changed. But last time I checked the line, it was 7 points favoring Alabama. And my question is, how can this Michigan defense match up with Alabama's offense? Because when you go back to the Ohio State game, Ohio State has one of the best offenses talent-wise in all college football. And when you look at this Alabama offense, even without Tua Tagovailoa, this is still one of the best offenses in college football. Just go back and watch that Auburn game. I mean, Auburn has one of the best defenses in all of college football, and Alabama was lighting them up. Besides from two crucial turnovers from Matt Jones, he played a very good game. So Tua or no Tua, this is still one of the best offenses in college football. And I'm not saying this is the best offense in college football, but I'm saying this is one of the best offenses in college football, Tua or no Tua, right? So when I'm going to go back and I look at that Ohio State game for Michigan, I saw an Ohio State team that struggled to stop, that had no problem running the ball and doing whatever they wanted to on that Michigan defense. Michigan absolutely had no answers for that Ohio State offense and Justin Fields. So coming into this game, my biggest concern for Michigan is going to be, what's the game plan? Because this Alabama team is just as good as Ohio State offensively. They got wide receivers all across the board who are going to be playing on Sundays. You got a very good offensive line, and they can run the ball with Najee Harris, right? So if you're Michigan's defensive coordinator, what's the game plan coming into this game? Because you definitely got to have a different game plan, because what you did versus Ohio State did not work. It didn't work. So if you're Michigan, the game plan probably has to be try to get pressure on Matt Jones. I know it sounds elementary, but I mean, that's the truth. You got to be able to get pressure on Matt Jones, because when they played Ohio State, right, Ohio State had no problem running the football and throwing the ball on them. A big reason is because Justin Fields had a lot of time to throw, right? So if you're Michigan, you got to be able to get pressure on Matt Jones, which is easier said than done, because even Auburn didn't really have a lot of success getting pressure on Matt Jones, right? So the game plan has to be trying to figure out a way to slow down this Alabama offense, mainly trying to stop the running game. Because listen, I think that Alabama, although they trust Matt Jones, I still believe that they still want to try to run the ball with Najee Harris, because ever since Tua Tagovailoa went down for Alabama, Najee Harris has been a focal point of that Alabama offense, and he had his hands on the whole entire game for Alabama in that Iron Bowl game versus Auburn, right? So now let's look at Alabama. Alabama's defense has been one of the worst defenses I've seen out of a Nick Saban coach team in all my years watching Alabama play football, right? So if you're Michigan, Michigan's offense has been really good over the last couple of weeks, ever since that second half of that Penn State game. They've been able to score a lot of points, and they've been really good throwing the football. Now, although they had a little bit of a debacle versus Ohio State has one of the best defenses in all of college football, with one of the best secondaries. You got Jeffrey Okudah, you got Shaun Wade, and you got Chase Young, probably the best player in all of college football playing. Well, if you're Michigan, you're not facing the same defense you were facing against Ohio State. You're facing a Alabama defense that hasn't really been that good. I mean, go back to that Auburn game. I mean, Bo Nix was having a career day versus Alabama's defense, right? And Bo Nix is a quarterback, not really, as a quarterback, hasn't really been that good against elite defenses or top opponents, right? So Bo Nix came into the Alabama game and absolutely had a career day versus them. And let me remind you, Alabama fans, Bo Nix was completing against top 25 opponents 40% of his passes against ranked opponents, right? He has not been good against top competition. And he came in that game versus Alabama, and he looked like a whole entirely different quarterback. So that just goes to show you how bad the Alabama defense is. They also struggle to get pressure on the opposing team's quarterback. Alabama, for some reason, lacks a great one-on-one pass rusher. They don't really have that. So going into this game, I'm expecting a lot of points to be scored in this matchup, right? Because Michigan's offense, despite the Ohio State game, has been really good. Really good. Ever since the second half of that Penn State game. And they're not facing the same defense they were facing in Ohio State. They're facing Alabama's defense that hasn't really been that good. And you let Bo Nix carve you up. Bo Nix looked like he could do no wrong versus Alabama. So the team I'm taking to win this game, I'm going to take Alabama to win this game. And I would take them with the points as well. I say Alabama will win this game by 7 points. And the reason why is because, look, Michigan couldn't stop Ohio State's offense. And Alabama's offense is just as good as Ohio State's offense. Tua or no Tua, this is one of the best offenses in all college football. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but Alabama's defense isn't that good, so they can't get stops. Yes, that's true. But Alabama still has enough talent that they're going to be able to force some turnovers. And who wins the turnover battle will be a big deciding factor in who wins this game. And I'm taking Alabama to be able to win that turnover battle. And also, I just think that Nick Saban is going to learn from his past mistakes against Auburn. He's going to come to this game fired up. He's going to have this team ready to play. And for the most part, I think Alabama is a more talented team than Michigan. And that's why I'm going to take Alabama to win this game. I'm going to say Alabama wins this game 35-27 is my final score prediction for this game. So you guys let me know who you guys have win this game down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And thanks for watching.